Coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine, 3 Noles on the men's basketball team share some physical traits that are above average. We'll take a unique look at these Goliaths of the court. The FSU track and field teams have been dominating the ACC for almost a decade and are on track for another great season. Can these Seminoles make a run at repeating an ACC championship? And we'll take an inside look at the new women's golf tournament being held on Seminole soil. These stories and more on Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Wilson. Our first story focuses on 3 men's basketball players that share a physical trait that most look up to. The average height of a male in the United States is 5 foot 10 inches. Meanwhile, the average height for an NBA athlete is a towering 6'6". But what is life like when you measure at a superhuman 7 feet tall? Here's Heather Biltock as she follows the giant footsteps of the men's basketball 7-foot club.
There are no easy layups, not in the paint under Florida State's basket. The Noles boast the tallest team in the NCAA. Guarding the basket are 3 really tall centers. Redshirt junior Kyle Turpin from Illinois is 7 foot. Freshman Michael Ojo from Nigeria is 7'1". And freshman Boris Bojanowski from the Slovak Republic at 7'3" is one of the tallest players in the game. This Florida State 7-footer club gives the Noles a clear advantage and presence on the court.
I get to see long distance things. I can just raise up my head and see far away stuff without using the telescope or microscope. Then this is like a very good advantage for me, especially in the aspect of my playing basketball.
It's good for playing basketball. I mean, I know everybody around, like, you know, I'm 7'3", so I get all the attention in basketball court and stuff. So that's good.
The guys turn heads everywhere they go. While there are obvious advantages to being tall, there are also some drawbacks.
I remember when I was still back home in Nigeria, walking by the door, you forget the door is too low for you, knock your head on the door. My siblings laugh at me, I'm like, hey, sorry, you tall.
My biggest issue is just like sitting down, like in desks and like cars. I don't really fit in it, and I have like really bad knees, so if I like sit there still for like 10 minutes, my knees will start hurting and I have to stretch out. So like cars, planes, I haven't tried roller coasters yet, but I'm pretty sure I won't fit on those either.
Like sometimes really annoying when I just walk and I hit my head when I'm not in a good mood, so it's pretty bad. And I tried to roller skate like twice, and I guess I was too tall for that. I fell a few times, so I gave up.
Not only are doors a problem, but finding clothes can seem nearly impossible. That's why when these 7-footers do find an outfit that fits, they're not always the most fashion forward.
It's very difficult to find shirt and pants that really fit you. And my very first challenge is getting a shoe that really fits my foot, because not too many people wear your size and they don't sell it, they don't put it in their shop.
I don't really care. I mean, I don't have problems with shoes like Mike, so I can get whatever shoes I want. I have only size 14, but like it's hard to find trousers or jeans, so I don't care where I found it if I found some nice ones.
When their clothes aren't attracting stares, their height is sparking whispers. Sometimes all the attention can be overwhelming.
Sometimes I get too much attention, and I don't like that.
You get to answer too many questions from people.
I know last year I did not like going out in public because I was just so much taller, and like everyone would just stop what they're doing and just look at you. It's like going into like a restaurant or something like that. People will just like stare at you, but they'll stop eating and everything kind of like freezes, and it's not really embarrassing. It's more awkward than anything, and it's kind of annoying. So I tend to like look down and not really look at other people, but now it's not so bad now. I'm kind of used to it, but it's just a little annoying every once in a while.
But on the court, the stares become cheers. The players become confident. Their height helps them dominate in the paint. And as an essential part to the Noles game plan, fans hope big players will translate to big wins. I'm Heather Biltock for Seminole Sports Magazine.
All three 7-footers have shown promise this season in big victories against Clemson and Maryland. You can catch the big men and the rest of the Noles in action at NC State on February 19th and their next home game on February 26th. When we come back, we'll take an inside look at the FSU track and field team as they race towards another ACC championship. And later, Scott Kodak goes one-on-one with track and field head coach Bob Raymond. You're watching Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T. It's time to review scores and highlights from recent FSU athletic events. Here's Annalise Aviles to catch you up on all the latest in Seminole Athletics.
Hey there, Seminole fans. I'm Annalise Aviles here with your Seminole Update. The Florida State men's basketball team defeated Georgia Tech for the 8th consecutive time. Senior Michael Snare shocked the crowd as he made yet another buzzer beater. It's his 3rd game-winning shot in 2 weeks and 5th in his career. With 5 seconds on the clock, Snare found an opening between defenders, darted down the court, and scored the last-second shot, giving the Noles the 2-point win over the Yellow Jackets. The women's basketball team defeated the Miami Hurricanes despite missing 2 of their top scorers. FSU achieved its 2nd-best shooting performance of the season, putting 6 players in double figures. Senior guard Leo Rodriguez scored 21 points and added 7 assists, while fellow senior guard Alexa DeLuzio notched 20 points. Junior point guard Chita Delgado made her 4th start and scored a career-high 14 points. The final score was 93-78. The women's softball team set a record with their bats, defeating Bethune-Cookman 20-0. The Seminoles win in 5 innings, marking a school record for runs scored in the NCAA fast pitch era. 8 Seminoles finished with multiple hits on Sunday, led by freshman Stephanie Hartness. The Seminoles also delivered 3 home runs, including 2 from top power threat Brianna Hamilton. I'm Annalise Aviles, and that was your Seminole Update.
Our next story previews track and field as they head into the finale of the indoor season. This year's athletes are using last season's victories for inspiration, as the men won the ACC championship and the women placed 2nd. But these Noles are not satisfied with previous accomplishments and are hungry for more. Celie Godwin takes us to the track as the team hits the ground running.
Sometimes a race only lasts a matter of seconds, but the sprint toward gold makes each stride worth it. With the passing of one track and field season brings the arrival of a new one. A new beginning to run faster, throw farther, and jump higher.
I'm still hungry. I want a lot more goals I want to accomplish this year.
The Garnet and Gold are known for dominating the ACC, winning 9 of the past 10 titles. It was only a year ago when Florida State competed in the ACC Indoor Championship. The men came back from a 29.5 deficit to beat Virginia Tech in the final day. The women also had to fight an uphill battle. The Lady Noles started the final day in 5th place, but earned enough points to finish 2nd.
At the end of the year, the men won the John McDonald Trophy as the best program in the country. The women placed 4th. A year later, the track and field team are sprinting toward another ACC title.
We need to be competitive on both sides to have a chance to win, to be in the mix. But we're going to get in there. I think that we'll be competitive.
The Noles have some big shoes to fill after graduating an extensive list of Olympians. But the rookies are already making big impressions.
If you see the time that they're putting up, you know, you would think that they're not recruits. You'd think they're definitely somebody that's been in college for a long time.
You usually don't have young kids come step right in and be a national or sometimes even an ACC level competitor, but it's exciting the talent we have, and every week we get more excited as we see somebody develop and give us some potential.
Freshman Marvin Bracey comes to FSU after a stellar high school career. He set national records in both the 60 and 100. Even with the high expectations, he's not letting the pressure get to him.
there's a target on my back, and it's just something to strive for, just to be the best.
Freshman Sage Watson says she also feels the same pressure. She hopes to represent the Garnet Gold at every meet.
I want to be able to win races so people can see FSU across my chest.
Being a freshman means taking on a whole new list of responsibilities. The transition to a top program can be challenging.
I kind of got used to the track, used to running with the team, traveling with the team, and now the pressure's kind of getting put on more.
The veterans know all about the pressures of competing for a Division I school. They say they've learned a lot from former Noles.
My first few years, I spent a lot of the indoor season with girls a lot older than me, so just taking what I've learned from them and just teaching the new girls and just helping them focus on improvement and staying positive.
Just try to lead it by example and try to show the guys that the recovery is just as important as the actual workouts.
And while the younger athletes look to the seniors for leadership, they all share the same goal.
I mean, you always want to win. If you don't, that's a problem.
Just having a good season, going out with a bang.
We're going for the whole thing, ACC if we can, and then straight to the big ship.
That's the main goal. It's a team goal to win a national title, bring it back to Tallahassee.
The FSU track and field team looks forward to a photo finish. One that includes lifting trophies. I'm Celie Godwin for Seminole Sports Magazine.
These Seminoles will strive for their 10th ACC indoor title when they head to Blacksburg, Virginia, February 21st through the 23rd. You can catch all the action of the ACC championships by following the team at Seminoles.com. When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T, Scott Kotick goes one-on-one with track and field head coach Bob Raymond, and later we'll take an inside look at a special women's golf tournament on Seminole soil.
Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T. Today we're joined by Bob Raymond here inside the studio. Talk a little bit of indoor track and field. The season's already started. A lot of big success, especially the sprinters, but both on the men's and women's side. Your teams have done pretty well so far.
Yeah, I mean, we're more of an outdoor team than an indoor team, and so whenever we have, national level success, that's really exciting. That's their natural ability combined with our really, really good coaching staff. So, we're about halfway through the indoor season. Next championship will be the ACC in about a week and a half, and then 2 weeks after that, the indoor nationals. So it comes fast, and you hit it hard, and you count your points and do the best you can. And, we're doing better than expected, in my opinion.
The ACCs were an event that you did win last year for another time. You were named ACC Coach of the Year. Congratulations, by the way. The big story thus far has been those two sprinters, and Dentarius Locke and Marvin Bracey. For those who don't know, how special are those young men?
I mean, the sprinting history is so rich at Florida State. Just going back decades, but certainly people recognize Walter Dix and people like that. And then, Maurice Mitchell made the last Olympic team. Well, Marvin Bracey in his, second competition as a freshman just broke the school record. That's a special school record. And Dentarius Locke, a transfer from Tennessee, who sat out last year right on his heels, and, 2 100s behind him, 1 100th off the old school record. And they sit 1 and 2 in the NCAA right now. So that's been, we knew they were good. We knew that we had big shoes to fill. We didn't know how quickly they'd get filled.
When you have sprinters that are that good, how much of an advantage does it give you in the indoor season when in Tallahassee you don't have an indoor facility to exactly train in, so having those sprinters can give you a big leg up?
Yeah, because in the southern United States, it's not a big indoor track area. There are very few tracks in the whole southern United States. So, you're training outdoors. Our track was resurfaced, which is a real big positive, but we weren't on it for the whole fall. So, that's a big leg up for us to get us going. And, for them to be that ready this early, just real exciting. And it gets everybody else going as well.
Let's talk about that women's side. Those distance runners, especially the female distance runners this year. Amanda Winslow's already had a very outstanding start to the spring. How big is that for that women's team to really carry that success from cross country on into the spring?
Yeah, it's really important, and Coach Harvey demands, their best all the time, and they give it. But Winslow, you're talking about, just like in Bracey's case, you're talking about a tremendous distance-rich history of our women's distance, and she breaks a school record. I mean, Susan Kiken, Natalie Hughes, Hannah England, who's the outdoor NCAA record holder, Amanda Winslow eclipsed their record. So really exciting what she's doing, and we're going to put together at the conference meet a great distance medley relay team that's got a chance to compete for an individual, relay title at the national championship.
And finally, let's talk about that ACC meet. That's the next big one coming in, the ACC Indoor Championships. The women finished second last year. Obviously, you want to get to that first place position. Your men's team wants to defend their title. What's the key to being good in this meet?
I think right now in an indoor track meet, as much as anything else, it's who's healthy, who's ready to go. Because fewer events, you try to get those big wins because those big wins are the big points that win the meet. More so than the 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. That doesn't happen much in indoor track. So, got to be healthy, got to be ready at that day, hit it big. Really proud of the women's team where Clemson's been the big dog now for about 3 years and been ranked #1 in the country most of the year. And we're kind of barking at their heels there where I think we can get close to them indoors and maybe eclipse them outdoors. And we didn't think that was really possible maybe 12 months ago. But recruiting, development of our kids, great coaching, and we got a shot to do it.
Coach, thanks for joining us today. Best of luck in the training as you prepare for ACCs.
Appreciate it.
When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T, we'll take an inside look at a unique golf tournament on Seminole soil.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Seminole Highlights is presented by AT&T, rethink possible.
Our final story takes a special look at the FSU women's golf team as they prepare to host the first tournament in school history. The tournament was created by women's golf head coach Amy Bond and named the Florida State Matchup. Kristen Kemp tells us why this matchup isn't your typical golf tournament, as the players are looking forward to competing on Seminole soil.
Home field advantage, one of the most sought-after phrases in all of sports. Most teams are guaranteed a certain amount of home games. Extras have to be earned. For the FSU women's golf team, it's been a long time coming.
It's always good for our players to be able to play at home. I mean, we spend a majority of our time here at home, but never actually get to play a tournament. So it's great for them to be able to show off in front of our administration, their friends, their family, in their hometown, and also show other schools what Tallahassee is all about, why they picked Tallahassee.
FSU will welcome 11 other teams from across the U.S. to play in the matchup. Among the many universities making the long trip to Tallahassee is Texas A&M, who is paired with FSU to go against the rest of the two-team matchups. Coach Bond says FSU's unique relationship with Texas A&M will help them in pursuit of a victory.
Their coach, Trell McCombs, is one of my best friends, and our teams get along really well. So it's a no-brainer to put them together. But the other combinations are former head coaches and their assistants who now have branched off and become head coaches. So they're partnering together. One set is college teammates who are now head coaches. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic works and them getting their teams together and just really having a good time in Tallahassee.
While it's here at the FSU golf course where the women practice their swings and sinking their putts, the actual tournament will take place about 7 miles away at Southwood Golf Club, a golf club that was recently ranked among America's best new courses according to Golf Digest.
One of the most fun things about these college tournaments is seeing the players wearing their team shirts. One of the ways we like to show off the participants is we ask that each team bring a school flag, and we fly all the flags in front of the clubhouse throughout the tournament.
The ladies have been practicing harder and harder as the tournament approaches, studying every bunker, hill, and slope of the Southwood course. Senior Jessica Negron is excited to play in Tallahassee, and she thinks the home field advantage will greatly benefit the Noles.
We really want to get first place in our own home event and have the trophy in our trophy case, so I say maybe a little bit more effort and practice and focus in for this tournament. Being able to play in a tournament after a round, you can actually go home, take a shower in your own shower, and lay in your own bed, so that should be nice.
For Negron, this tournament is special because it's essentially the last tournament she'll play on Seminole soil. As for her fellow teammates, this will be the first of many future women's golf tournaments hosted by Florida State.
It's always good to see the support come from the town, from the school. Not a lot of people do know about our golf team, so it's cool for them to come out and see what our life is about. They don't get to see it because we're always on the road, so it'll be fun for everyone who can to come watch us and know what we go through every day to support our school.
It's become my baby, and my vision is starting to be realized right now, and it's exciting to talk to these other coaches because they're really excited about coming to Tallahassee because we're doing things outside the norm of a normal tournament. I mean, basically I want this to be, they're kicking off the spring, I want the kids to have a good time, I want the coaches to have a good time, so it's really exciting.
Although February is the coldest month of the year here in Tallahassee, the team is hopeful for good weather, good matchups, and a victorious outcome. I'm Kristen Kemp for Seminole Sports Magazine.
The Florida State matchup started on February 15th and play will continue through February 17th at the Southwood Golf Club in Tallahassee. I'm Rob Wilson, and we'll see you next week on Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T.